Hey Divi Nation, thanks for joining us in this live stream, and today I will show you how to transfer a new design style to another page using Divi's efficiency features. So we're going to use the furniture store layout back, and if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure that you do. I've mentioned a link in the description below, and if you're not an Elegant Themes member yet, make sure that you check out Divi. I've mentioned a link to the product page where you can go ahead and discover everything for yourself. So without any further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's start off by taking a look at the end result, the outcome that we're going to create. So we're going to transfer this design style. So this is the furniture store landing page, and we're going to make it apply to the hosting company landing page, which is the following one. And this is the outcome that we're going to get from that. So this is the new layout that we have. So we're using the same content that was used on the hosting company landing page, but we're simply replacing all of the design settings with the new page, so the furniture store landing page using the efficiency features. So we're going to go through a couple of steps. So we'll first start off by adding two new pages, and we're going to dedicate one to the furniture store landing page and one to the hosting company landing page. So I've already done that. I have both of these pages close by, and then we're going to reset some section settings to make it apply throughout the entire page as well, so we can get started and add the new design style to certain elements on the page. And then we'll continue by using the cross-page copy and paste feature, which is one of the recent features that came out, which was part of the new visual builder. So you can just use the copy and paste feature to add certain elements to another page. Even if you're like copying them from another page, you can just add them to the existing page that you're working on. So we're going to do that, and then we'll also add some manual settings to the design as well. And we're also going to use the extend styles and find and replace features to make everything happen a lot more quicker. So we're going to modify the hero section using the copy and paste feature, cross-page copy and paste feature, and then we're going to manually make some changes and use the find and replace and extend style features. So this is all going to make sense once we get started. So again, open a page with the furniture store landing page and one with the hosting company landing page as well. So I have both of them here, and I'll just open them with the visual builder. I'm going to do the same thing for this page over here. All right, so we have both of these pages open now. So we've enabled the visual builder. So we have both of these, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reset some settings within the sections, and we don't have to do that to each one of the sections individually. We can start off with the hero section over here, and as you can notice, there are some background options here, and the only thing we're going to do here is right click and click on reset background, and everything will be gone, and we're just going to extend these background styles to all the sections on this page, and this will make sure that all of these sections are, the background settings of each section on the page are resetted. And we're going to do the same thing for the divider settings as well. So right here we're going to reset them, and then we're going to extend the divider styles to all the sections on this page. So of course, every layout is unique, so the number of things that you will need to reset can differ depending on which layout you're working on. So for this layout in specific, it was necessary to reset the dividers and the background settings, and that will be the case for a lot of layouts. So you will have to do that so you can save time without actually having to open each one of the settings and remove things manually. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the cross-page copy and paste feature that is part of the new visual builder. So to do that, we're just going to go to this page over here, so the furniture store landing page, and we'll start with the section settings. So we're simply going to copy these section settings by right-clicking and clicking on copy section styles, and we'll go back to this page and just paste these settings, and we'll do the same thing for the row as well. Then we'll do the same thing for the title text module over here. We're going to copy the module styles and we're going to paste them on this module over here. And you can, of course, play around with some of the settings over here to, make it match with the design that you're working on. So, for instance, we're going to just reduce the text size over here a little bit, and then we'll go back, and over here, this is a separate module from the previous one. So these text settings over here, we'll need to get those, but we won't have to copy the entire module styles. Instead, we're just going to make the text settings apply because this is a module on its own, as you can notice over here. So we'll just go to the design tab over here, go to the text settings, and these are all the settings that you really need. So we're going to copy the text styles over here and then go to this module. So you don't even have to open it. You can just right click and click on paste text styles. And we're going to do the same thing for the button over here. We're going to paste it. So now that we have these modules that are modified, we can extend these styles throughout the page using the extend styles feature that Divi provides you with. So we don't have another heading 1 on the page, so it won't be necessary to change this or extend this, but we do have to extend the text styles. So we're going to open this module, go to the text settings over here, and we're going to right click and click on extend styles. And we're going to make it apply to all the modules throughout the page. So not only the text modules, all of the modules. And then you'll have to wait a little bit because it does have to make these new settings apply to a whole bunch of modules on the page. All right. So once that's done, you will notice that some of the text modules have changed their text orientation according to the text orientation that was here available. So you'll have to change that back for the ones that you want to. So this one, for instance, we'll change that back to center text orientation. And then you can simply copy this text orientation, scroll down, and make it apply to the other elements you want as well. Here as well. We'll change this one and this one as well. All right, so we'll need to extend the styles of the button module as well. But to make things easier, we're not going to extend the style of the entire module. We're rather going to extend the styles of the button settings, the spacing, and the box shadow. And this will make sure that the alignment is not affected whatsoever. So we're going to do that by right-clicking, clicking on Extend Button Styles. We're going to make it apply to all the buttons throughout this page. We'll go back to the same thing for the spacing styles. And for the box shadow as well. All right, so now all of the main modules have been changed throughout the page. We'll still need to modify those of the call to action modules and the pricing tables, but we'll do that later on. And then you have some other elements that appear throughout the page that need to be copy pasted as well. For this layout in specific, that's the divider module. So we're going to scroll through the old layout, so the new layout, the new design style that we want to use, and until we come across a divider, and then we'll just copy the module styles and paste them on the existing page that we have that we want to change around. So once you do that, you can simply extend these styles to all of the dividers throughout the page as well. All right, so now we've done all of the copy-paste changes throughout the page, but there's still some settings in the layout that need some manual adjustments. For instance, the first thing that you will need to replace is the font that's being used. So at this moment, we're using Rubik, I think it is, yes. And we're going to find and replace it throughout the entire page. So we won't have to do it manually for every heading or whatever. We can just right click and click on find and replace, and we're going to replace it with the font that is being used on the furniture store landing page. I think it's Montserrat. Yes, and we're just going to select that in our list. And we're also going to tick off the box which says replace all font values within every option type, not limited to heading to font. And this will again make sure that all of the fonts are being changed, even if it's not a heading to font or whatever. So make sure that you tick off this box and then click on replace. All right, and we're going to do the same thing for the heading font weight. So over here you can notice that they're using light throughout the layout. So you can basically do that for any kind of adjustment. So, you know, it's really up to you whether or not you want to, you know, make all of the changes apply to a new layout, or if you want to just make some tweaks here and there and make it match up to a certain point. So you can go as deep as you want to and just use these extend styles features, extend styles or find and replace features to make that happen. I'm just going to, you know, do the basic stuff that will make both layouts look very similar to each other, but won't change like the overall page structure, or you won't have to change anything to make everything match with each other. So you have that basic kind of page structure that you already got, but you're simply going to change some, you know, fonts, some design settings that are really characteristic, and make a layout different from what it originally looked like. So we're going to do the same thing for the font weight. We're going to replace it with light. Again, we're going to tick off this box and click on replace. So this is starting to look a lot like the furniture store layout that we have over here. Another thing we can do is remove the rounded corners. As you can see over here, there are no rounded corners at all within this layout, and you can simply get rid of them using the find and replace feature here as well. So I'll just open this module over here, for instance, go to the design tab, open the border settings, and I can see that we're using 24 pixels, and this is being used throughout the entire layout a couple of times. So I'm going to right click, click on find and replace throughout this page and replace it with 0 pixels. So you could do that for the box shadow that's being used here as well. I personally didn't think it was necessary because this is kind of how the page structure works, but you can definitely do that as well. Reset it here and then extend the styles throughout the entire page, but I'm not going to do that because I like the look and feel that it has at this right moment. And then if we scroll down, we still have some things that we need to change around. So for instance, the buttons over here that we have, and these call to actions over here. So we're going to open one of these and go to the background settings. So again, this is unique to each and every layout. You will need to, you know, go looking for these kind of elements that look not similar to the layout or the design style that you want to apply, and just go reset or use the copy paste feature and then just extend the styles to similar elements throughout the page. So over here, we're going to reset the background settings. All right, and then we're going to extend these background styles to all call to actions throughout this section. And we're going to replace this color. So this is the default color that you get with the call to action module. So we're going to right click on it and click on find and replace, and we're going to change that into a color that's being used throughout the furniture store landing page. You can take this off or not take this off. We're going to replace it within this section, and that will lead us to the following. And then we'll also go to the text settings over here and change, find and replace the text color and change it into light. Here it is important that you mention that it's within this section, otherwise it could change the text color throughout the entire page. So I did that to this one. I actually had to make it apply to all the call to action modules instead of all modules. And I'll just save it. And then we'll go to the pricing tables over here. And we're going to change the button. So the reason why you can't really extend, well, you could, I'm just going to do that really quick. So you could actually just copy these button settings over here and make them apply, but you'll still need to make some manual changes because within the pricing tables and the call to action modules, the spacing is included for the entire module, not specifically for the button module. So we'll need to add that manually using the border width instead. So I'll just paste them over here. So this is what you get because we don't have the spacing styles, but we can just use some border width to increase the size. So we'll use 8 pixels. And we'll change the button border color to the same orangey color over here. And also we'll use some left button alignments. And once you have all of these button settings, you can right click, click on extend button styles and do it to make it apply to all the pricing tables throughout this page. And do that again, but now select the call to action modules. All right, so now we have this up until now. So the biggest part of this tutorial is over. So we've used the copy and paste feature, the find and replace, and the extend styles features to make changes throughout the page in just a matter of time. So we had to make some manual changes when it comes to the font because, for instance, some of the headings differ from layout to layout. So that's one thing that we had to do. But now we can start adding the last thing that we need, and that's some design characteristics. So for instance, as you can notice, it's kind of plain because we don't have any background settings over here because we resetted them, but we can manually add some of those, or you can just use the copy and paste feature once again. But we're just going to add some gradient backgrounds that we just want to play around with, make it match with the design. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open the following settings of this section over here. This one, so we'll open this one, we'll add a background color that matches the color palette of the furniture store layout pack. And we'll do the same thing for another section that we have over here. We'll also add a gradient background to this one. Our first color will be white, and the second color will be one of the colors in the color palette of the furniture store layout pack. We'll change this to 90 degrees and 55% for the start and end position. We'll add one here as well, gradient background. So everything is really up to you, how much you want to change things around. But it's nice to know that you can combine all of these efficiency features to make everything just happen a lot quicker. You don't have to manually change almost anything, just a few changes. And right after making those changes, you can immediately use the find and replace or extend styles features to make it happen throughout the entire page instead of having to do it manually. So the reason why you really can't do it in one click is because every layout differs and every element differs within each and every layout. So you want to play around with all of these, but you don't want to change the entire page structure up to a point where it doesn't make any sense. You want to, make that design apply to the page structure that you already have instead of changing the page structure to match the design style. And we'll also add the last one to the last section over here. And then we're just going to compare. So we're using white, the following color. So if you want to follow everything step by step and do it for yourself, test it out with these two layouts to see how it works, to create a kind of workflow, make sure that you check out the blog post, which I've mentioned in the description below. And this will lead you to all of the steps written down, and you can follow them step by step and hopefully create your own kind of workflow when it comes to transferring a design style to a new page. All right, so we're done making all of these modifications. So this is the outcome that we have. Looks very similar to the furniture store layout pack. I'll just show you. So this is the furniture store layout pack. Here we have the hosting company landing page layout. So it's the same kind of look and feel. And this is what the hosting company landing page looked like before we started making changes to it. All right, that was it for this tutorial. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we hope that you're enjoying this ongoing Divi design initiative where we try to put something extra into your design toolbox each and every week. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video or live stream.